You're not stuck because you're lazy, unclear, or inconsistent. You're stuck because your strategy is too custom, your audience is too comfortable, and your content is attracting fans, not buyers. Now, in this video, I'm unpacking 6 invisible growth blockers keeping high-level coaches like you from scaling to 6-figure months, and the intentional moves that get them out of the hamster wheel and into real leverage. I'm Lisa May Hubie, and I help coaches scale without launches, ads, or complicated funnels. So let's get into it. So let's talk about the illusion of success. This is where you're consistent, you're booked, you feel like you're making good money, but somehow it still feels off, right? Why does scaling feel more like suffocating? Now, this is the real secret cost of hitting 30K to 50K months without a true growth infrastructure. So let's dive into the 6 hidden growth blocks that are keeping you stuck. I'm just going to hop over to Canva. Okay, so the first hidden growth block is strategic isolation. Okay, this is where it feels like everyone around you is performing, but no one is actually building anything, right? You are likely the most strategic person in every room you go into, which means no one's stretching you, right? You need proximity to people thinking like operators and not performers. Okay, so lost my mouse. The next secret or the next hidden block is invisible burn rate. Okay, this is where you're making money, but you're tired. Your calendar's full and your margins are shrinking. Okay, this is where you're finding that success on paper doesn't equal freedom. Now, we fix this with a system that delivers profit without pressure. Now, the next hidden growth block is misaligned audience. This is where you've outgrown your audience, or at least you feel like you have, but you're afraid to pivot and you lose traction. Right? Your market seems to want the version of you from 2 years ago. But until you reposition your messaging, you'll stay stuck converting the wrong buyers. Now, the next hidden growth block is hidden offer resentment. This is where it works, but you really don't want to sell it. You keep selling the offer that drains you because it's safe, okay? But scaling you something secretly resent, now that's a recipe for burnout. And I highly suggest you don't do that. The next hidden growth block is content fatigue disguised as strategy. Make that a little bit smaller. Okay, so, you're showing up, but you still feel invisible. Okay, this is what happens when content is built for consumption and not conversion. So this looks like value posts, educational posts where you're always teaching. You feel like you have to prove your expertise. Okay, this is what creates the content mill. Okay, but you're here at Coach. You're not here to be a content mill, right? So the solution is to have messaging that filters out buyers and not fans. And the last one, which you already got a sneak peek of here, is asset exhaustion. This is when everything depends on you, right? You've built custom everything. Your team can't close. Your assets aren't duplicatable. And scaling feels like more work, not less. Okay, so what you want instead of all of this is the intent to income framework. And let me find that bad boy. Hey, and this is how it works. This is where we want to attract with filtered content that creates belief, not just engagement. And then what we're going to do is activate them. And this is how we activate buyers through intentional conversion events, not just free events or lead magnets, because the landscape has changed. And then ultimately, we want to align with a sales process that positions you as the leader and qualifies people in the DMs. You don't want to be waiting for sales calls or your triage or connection calls to actually make sure this is someone that you need to be investing time in converting, okay? This is how you rebuild your business for scale and not survival. Now, if you're ready to build a clean, leveraged pipeline that actually earns what you deserve without the emotional labor, then make sure you reach out. You can click the link in the description below to book a call or DM me directly on Instagram. Now, this is the work that I do with high-level coaches who are ready to break their next income ceiling with clarity and ease.